Hi guys, so today I thought I'll share one thing that I spend almost all of my money on, which is books. This is also quite timely because just yesterday I spent almost £60 on a couple of new books which I'm really excited to start reading. So anyways, I remember being asked in an interview where the lady was asking me, so Aida, tell us a little bit more about your spending habits. And when she asked me that question, I was a little bit stumped because I live in Tangier, right? And for the longest time ever, Tangier had no shopping center or malls until recently where they started opening not one but 3 malls at the same time, so I'm a bit like confused. But anyways, so living in Morocco definitely helped a lot in curbing my spending habits. Now back to the question that she asked, I asked her, well, does buying books count? Because come to think about it, that's all I spend my money on. And the lady who asked me, she paused for a second and she said, well, this is the first time I've heard of such answer, but I guess yeah, that would be your spending habits since you spend almost all of your money on books. But guys, let me just pause for a second here and confess that I wasn't always like this. I used to spend so much of my money on clothes and bags and shoes. I mean, I'm a girl, right? I can't help it. But then I rediscovered books. And living in Morocco where they mostly only have French and Spanish and Arabic books, it was super hard to get English books. So whenever I come back to Singapore, I'll buy like tons of books and my luggage will just be filled with books. And every time I get my hands on a new book, I will hold it and caress it and stroke it and hug it and smell it like they're my children. Books for me are like my source of happiness. I love reading them and I love buying them. You know, I came across a hadith once by Ibn Abbas where he narrated that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, the feet of a slave will not move until he is asked regarding 4 matters. Number 1, his life and how he spent it, his body and how he used it, his wealth and how he spent it and how he acquired it, and number 4, regarding the love for us, the Ahli Bayt. So every time I think about spending my money, I would remember this hadith about how I'll be asked how I spend my money, and every time I remember that, I'll be very conscious as to where I'm going to spend my money on. And if I was thinking of buying a pair of shoes or you know anything that's of material stuff, I would remember that hey, I should spend this amount of money on books instead. Now I see books as an investment, and every single time I buy a book, I make the intention that I can get to use what I learn and what I read to share them with my family and friends and to share them with the community of ladies that I serve. I also see my collection of books as a kind of legacy that I want to be able to share to my future children, inshallah, or to anyone really who would just like to pick up a book and read. You know, I thought about it, but one of the worst questions that I ever get is what are my favorite books? It's like asking a mother to choose her favorite child. I cannot answer that question. But in short, I don't read fiction books, very rarely. I love to read biographies and self-development books and any and all kinds of Islamic books. I've also started reading poetry. That's something new to me. And yeah, maybe I'll share with you the 4 books that I bought yesterday. So the first one is A Treasury of Virtues. It is a book on Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anh, because we're currently doing a class on his wife Sayyidah Fatima Zahra radiallahu anha. So I was very interested to pick up a book on her husband Sayyidina Ali. The second book that I picked up is Faces of Love. It's a poetry book. It's a translation, but because I don't read Arabic, this is the next best thing. Third book that I got, which I'm quite excited to start reading, is Light in the Heavens. These are some of the sayings of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. So there's the Arabic on one side and the English on one side. I always love books that has the original Arabic text on one side so I can, you know, try to pretend that I at least know some Arabic. I'm definitely looking forward to reading this. And the last book I got is Inside the Soul of Islam. This was recommended by the lady that works in the bookstore that I love to go whenever I'm in London. I don't really know what to expect, but that's the best thing about books. You never really know what you're getting. I'm just very excited. So that wraps up my reflection for today. And if there's one thing that I want you guys to take away from, is to think very carefully on how you guys spend your money. I know you guys work super hard in your jobs or whatever it is that you do, and money is really hard to come by. So I really hope that you guys would think a little bit more on what you invest in yourself. And if you guys have any of your favorite books that you really want to recommend, please drop it down on the comment section. And with that, I'll catch you guys in my next video, inshallah. Bye!